Firstly, apologies for the slightly cryptic language in this video. YouTube really doesn't like this sort of content, so you'll get what I mean as I go through it. Really, I wanted to just do a really quick review, I suppose, of this quick release backpack. I've had this for a good few years now, so I've got a fair bit of use out of it. I like it. It's got lots of advantages, mostly pros, a few cons, and I'll go through a few of them just now. But first of all, just an overall look at the exterior of this pack. By the way, this is in no way sponsored, bought by my own money and get nothing for this whatsoever. This particular brand, it comes in a few different sizes. I believe this might actually be a slightly older model now, looking at their site. It probably is available in a few stores though. It was also a fair bit cheaper when I bought it a few years ago than it currently is. I'll put the current prices on the screen now. It came in an OD green or this real tree type colour, which I got because it tends to match the kind of clothing that I wear in this environment for the kind of thing that I plan on utilising this bag for. So they came in a few different sizes. This, I believe, was the VORN 12 or 12 litre. This particular model, it hasn't really got much of an external frame. This back panel is quite soft. I do believe you get some now that are completely hard at the back. It's got fairly decent cushioned back supports, and at the base of the back there, it's relatively comfortable on the back. The straps are quite hard and quite thin. They do push on your shoulders a little bit. It's not the kind of backpack I would want to do huge hikes with, but you could do sort of day treks and the likes with it. It's got a variety of webbing in the back, so you can actually adjust where these sit on your body so they're better fits you. On the outside, it's got an external net. It's got these two compression straps, which I find particularly useful for attaching my slip onto the back of this. So being able to take my slip, just fold it over, set it on top, and then take these two compression straps. You can see that just keeps that nice and neat on the back. It has two zippers that at a glance appear to be two different pockets, but it is in fact really just two different ways of getting into the same dump pouch. Material to the touch is quite soft, has that real tree clothing type feel about it, so it doesn't make a lot of noise. It's relatively water repellent, I would say. It's not entirely waterproof. It has got some protection to the weather, but not a huge amount. It didn't come with any kind of cover or anything like that. It is fully adjustable so that you can put different lengths of whatever tool it is you're using to carry in here. It is also quite deep, so anything that the tools that you've got, anything that's attached to them, will fit inside there quite neatly, and it's actually fairly seamless when you're taking it out. It doesn't snag on anything, it's quite easy to do. Getting it out is incredibly simple. Putting it back in, I have seen videos of it being demonstrated where they slip it off one shoulder and just slip it right back in there. In my experience, that's actually not that easy to do. You're far easier just taking it off completely and then fitting it back in correctly. Really, for me, and I think for most people, the massive advantage of a pack like this is it gives you the hands-free capabilities of being able to put the tool that you require for whatever it is you're doing somewhere that's nice and accessible, in the same way possibly a sling would be, but without having the interference of a sling. The hands-free aspect of this is its primary use. For me, this size is really just a day pack, so it provides me just enough room to be able to go out for a day and do what it is I'm using this kind of tool for. Be comfortable with it on my back all day, not a problem. But it's also slim enough and compact enough that were you going on larger trips, you could relatively easily attach this to the side or the back of a larger external pack with a little bit of jiggering around. Now of course the quick release aspect of this pack is the party trick of what makes this pack particularly unique. I've seen a couple of different versions of packs like this, and although this is the only one I've owned, I have had close hand experience with one other one, and this one seems to have the best mechanism. It's certainly the easiest to use, and it's certainly the neatest. Very easy. Just pull down on the tab and you can see the two hooks easily come off, which allows you to reach backwards, removing whatever it is you have in there. See, what I keep in here is I would maybe have some snacks or some water to get me through a day, a mosquito net, maybe a waterproof jacket, things like trail cam, extra of these. Here's some more for some sort of pouch for keeping stuff in. That's just a little pack that I keep my camera gear in. Another little utility pouch that I put in there. These don't come with the bag. When you get the bag, it comes just as it is here. I'm just giving you a little bit of a demonstration as to what you can keep in here. In here I've got things like mosquito repellents, and you keep you know, a first aid kit, also other things like this I keep in this pack because that's primarily the use that I have for it. And that's it. You can see it's a completely no frills pack. Easy see orange in the inside. There is one internal net with a zip. In there, there's a plastic retaining hook. That's basically it. The pocket at the top is just completely straight through to allow access from the top. I have used this with a few other types of tool, some with large attachments on the end of them or at the bottom of them. Not a problem whatsoever. You simply adjust the size of the straps and the tightness, and it works the same with everything. Originally what I wanted to do was combine this with the H-harness belt rig that you've seen me use in other videos, because this combined with the contents of that would have been perfect for me for longer duration trips. However, I found it to be just a little bit too long for me to be able to utilise it that way. This part of it here, because of what's pressing down on it, was just sitting a little bit too low, so that when I put it on my back it was riding too far, it was riding too high, so I couldn't use it for that. So it then became a standalone pack. Because of that, it then became basically a day pack, which allows me to, I can put decoys in here, food, some trail equipment, camera gear, a few other little odds and ends and things like that as well. So it's a very nice low profile pack that has a unique feature which allows for greater hands-free utility. I don't see a lot of them, so I just thought I'd quickly run through my thoughts on it. Excellent pack.